Hope everyone's having a great day. What's up? It's Steveson here, back with... Oi, oi, oi. Oi, 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 oi.
Hey, this is Cider Helmet.
I've been really caught up with schoolwork, a lot of stuff to do. But today I'm bringing you a brand new video. Today we're going to be talking about Joule weapon build, alright? We're going to be talking about the weapon build for Joule. Joule is a melee hero who can play in the lane and in the jungle. Today's recording is in the jungle. And I'd like to give a quick shout out to my 34 subscribers. I can say you guys are my motivation to keep going. And if it's your first time here, welcome. Hopefully you will stay. Hopefully. But let's get right to the video, shall we? So let's just have a quick recap of Joule, alright? Her role is warrior and her position is lane, although I prefer playing her in the jungle. Her difficulty is medium, and this is because of her abilities: Thunder Strike, Rocket Leap, and the big red button. If you land it, as it says over here, devastating damage is caused. Joule's heroic perk is Heavy Plating, giving her bonus defense from all sources of damage that hit her in the front of her robot. Because of this heroic perk, Joule is pretty good at early game one-on-ones in the jungle. So if you notice that two of the enemies are in the lane, definitely go for the last one and try to hunt them down. But make sure, of course, that you have health. Joule's A ability is Rocket Leap, where she jumps from one position and lands down, stunning any enemies in the target area. Now, it's also good for escaping tricky situations. Joule's B ability is Thunder Strike, which is pretty much a jolt of electricity sent in whatever direction she wants to, in front of her. This ability has its own passive called Overdrive, which makes weapon damage critically strike. Now, Thunder Strike's cooldown also scales down with attack speed, so you know that Tornado Trigger would be able to help you decrease that cooldown so that you can spam the ability. And finally we have Joule's ultimate, which is a huge laser, which does a ton of crystal damage. Now, looking back at all of the abilities, you can see that each ability scales better with crystal power. The crystal ratios are much higher, and well, for some abilities, the other two, they don't have a weapon ratio, unlike Thunder Strike. So now you're probably thinking, why should you go for a weapon build when you can go for a crystal build, which is going to be much stronger than the weapon build in terms of ability strength? I personally feel that a crystal powered Joule late game usually falls behind, and that a weapon powered Joule is able to keep up with the competition. Furthermore, Thunder Strike's weapon ratio, passive overdrive ability, and its cooldown scaling with attack speed makes it a really powerful ability. Now, don't get me wrong, crystal powered Joule is pretty OP if the entire enemy team is building armor and none of them have any shield. Now let's get straight to the build. Here it is. So this is the final build. We've got Sorrow Blade, the Crucible, Journey Boots, Tornado Trigger, Coat of Plates, and Tyrant's Monocle. So Sorrow Blade is for some raw damage output. Crucible is for some sustain, and the Reflex Buck can really help you with pests like Koshka and Catherine's Stun. And then we have Journey Boots, so then you can run pretty quickly, of course. Joule actually is one of the fastest heroes in the game once you have the boots on. And then we have Tornado Trigger's attack speed, which reduces the cooldown of Thunder Strike, so you can spam that ability often. And then Coat of Plates to build some armor against enemies that are building weapon power. And finally, Tyrant's Monocle for a higher critical damage output, as well as a higher critical damage chance. Now you have to take into mind that the Crucible and the Coat of Plates are just situational items, so you can swap them out for the Aegis or the Atlas Pauldron, depending on the enemy composition. So how to go about getting this final build? I usually start by grinding for Tornado Trigger, but making sure that I have a few blades around, so then I still have some damage, which is quite important. And then the boots usually aren't priority number one, but I enjoy moving fast in the fold, in the Halcyon fold, in the jungle, across the map, however you want to say it. So I usually grind for that as well. So how effective is this build? Well, if you play pretty aggressive in the early game, then you should be getting some good kills. Here, for example, I got a triple kill, which was the highlight of my match. The final tip I have for this build is to pick up a weapon infusion around level 10. This is when the damage really comes out from Joule, and you're gonna be able to leave the enemies in the dust. Thanks for watching my little build video. I'm gonna leave you off now with another good clip from this last match. See you guys around.
Allied turret destroyed. Allied hero killed.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out.
Oh, fuck yeah, this is the shit! Kill me now! Ugh. 2 foot of paint off my stink, baby! 2 foot of